They know the death of me. This is the final line on a text file that I found buried inside a Google Drive folder that had no name. 1 week ago, I discovered a hidden comment on my previous video which had a YouTube link followed along with a nonsensical string of text. What the link led to is an unlisted video titled The Abandoned Server of My Friend Group, uploaded by the channel called Bob the Gamer. At the start, we are introduced to the server by Bob. He says in the chat, "In memory of my friends, I'll let you guys know of this server." It is clear immediately that Bob wants to archive his server on the internet forever. Then he would go around the server and ramble on about how he misses the good old days of when everyone was online and unemployed. He would also state that he's also unemployed. He shows off structures that were significant to the server like the statue of miners. Then things would take a turn from here. The mood shifts as Bob approaches one of the buildings. He says, "I miss you." And additionally, he says, "In your memory, I'll let the world know of you." He enters the building and explores the house a bit before heading down to the hidden basement. He goes down and there's an enchanting room there. Bob then mistakenly goes through one of the paintings and it led to a strange staircase. Bob says, I didn't know he had a secret bunker." Then he goes down. At the end of the strange staircase, there was nothing there except for a sign. Another line of gibberish, but it isn't, because Bob said, "It seems like an URL ID." Then the video ends. There's so much to unpack here, like whose house was Bob in, and who was he talking about? And most importantly, why is there a hidden staircase leading down to a sign? But what I found the strangest was that the sign is a URL ID, according to Bob. So in order to figure this out, I had to find what type of URL this is. It took me about 3 hours of trial and error, but I found it. It leads to a Google Drive folder, and what the folder contains is beyond the knowledge of man. Inside the folder were 3 videos in numeric order from 1 to 3, and there's also a text file with the name of =DGBSTIFM2C. But the content inside the text file would be way more direct. It reads, "It was a mistake entering these towers. I thought I knew it all, but it seems as though I was being played. The library I entered was a mistake. Most of these books contained nonsense, but when I found ones that didn't, it contained everything. The books in there know of you. They know of your destiny. They know of you. They know the death of me, Harry." A weird rambling. In this short text file, Harry the author presumably lost his mind, and it seems like a schizophrenic going down a drain, and he's rambling on about things that might not even exist. But the only way for me to figure this all out is to watch the videos. So I started with the very first one. In the video, the POV is completely different, and it's apparent it isn't Bob anymore, so I would just have to assume that this is Harry. He's at the basement and he says, "Hey guys, I'm here to showcase my secret base that my friends don't know about." He then heads down the same staircase that Bob discovered, but there isn't a wall there and it leads straight down. He grabs a stack of bread from the double chest and attempts to greet the villagers. And he would also enter another building which was made for trading with librarians. For the rest of the video, he attempts to get a mending enchantment. Nothing too special happened, but what stood out to me in this mundane video was the giant stone brick tower, and what was inside that tower. However, all these things will be answered in the next video. In the second edition, he is still at the same building, but he would go on to say something that caught my eye. "I wondered who found my base." And then he jokes about it, saying that whoever built that tower must suck at building. It's clear to me that Bob did not build that tower, but then who did? Further into the video, he said, "Let's explore the tower." heads to the second floor of the tower, and when he arrives, the screen gets increasingly glitchy and distorted, but you can still see there's a lectern and a book on it. He clicks on it, and it's not written in English. When I put this through a translator, it is in Hebrew, and it translates to, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." He closes it and he makes a comment. I don't know what language this is, but let's continue on though. So he does. He goes on to the third floor. The screen and audio gets even more glitchy and more distorted, but you can still see there's a lectern and a book in front of him. He clicks on it, and it's another language again, so I put it through the translator, and it is written in Greek. It reads, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." The same message as the last book. He comments on it saying, "Another language again. I was hoping it would be in English." He moves on to another lectern, and there's another book, so he clicks on it. It's in another language again, so I again translated it, and it is in Arabic. It reads, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." The same message again. All these three books that Harry has came across are written in different languages but have the same message. Strange, but Harry seemingly brushes this off and continues on. He goes on to the fourth floor, and now the screen is so distorted and glitchy that I can't even make out what is happening. The audio is so distorted, but I can still hear his footsteps. And it stops. The video ends there. But wait, I heard something. At the end, there was a sound that wasn't his footsteps. It was like a button was being pressed. Harry clicked on a button, but why would he click on a button? And why is there a button there? And what happened to him after he clicked on that button? I guess we can only know more of this by watching the next video. In the last video, the screen and audio isn't glitchy nor distorted anymore, but Harry isn't in the tower. He's in a completely different place. He's in a room surrounded by bookshelves, and curiosity gets the best of him, so he picks up a book. In the book are a bunch of random letters and a sentence. Harry comments on it saying, "Is this a hidden code? Lol." Seemingly joking about seeing this string of text. But Harry will change his tone very soon as he realizes that this room is never ending. Harry goes upstairs and to the left, and to the right, and left, and upstairs, then downstairs. It's all the same room, over and over again. Harry says in chat, "Is there an exit?" And then he poses a solution to his problem, saying that maybe the answer are in the books. He then starts looking through books after books, but everything is just the same gibberish style of book. But then he found something. The book is called The King in Yellow, and he reads for a few pages, then says, "I read this book before. It's just a fictional book, nothing special about it." He moves on to the room to his left and finds another book with the name Curious Case of Kaylee and Ray. After he finishes the book, he says in the chat, "Another fictional book." Then he moves on. After a while of searching, he finds a book called The Demise of Harry. He says in the chat, "That's my name." And then he opens the book. The footage ends there. Harry was the person who wrote the sign, and he was the person who wrote the text file and created the Google Drive folder. But there's still so many questions left unanswered, like who built the tower that Harry was in, and most importantly, what was in that book for Harry to run like that. And arguably, he's the most fearless protagonist I've ever came across. For him to explore these unknown places from tower to the library and still keep such a confident tone until he met the book called The Demise of Harry. What is in that book? The black censor lines in the book, I didn't put that there, it came with the footage. But the odd thing is that all of Harry's clips were raw footages, so who put that there? But one thing I do know is that now it's all up to Bob.